So, as I had started to explain in class, this restaurant analogy will help us understand some really critical MCP concepts. Ingrid goes one Sunday afternoon to Ha Ha Ha, the vegan Mexican restaurant near World Trade Center. Ingrid enters and is excited to finally try this place that Adi has been talking about. She's greeted by Pedro. So in this image, that's right here, Pedro, the restaurant manager. He greets her warmly and seats her by the window overlooking Greenwich Street. Behind the scenes, Pedro is coordinating basically all the moving parts. He's in charge of the dining experience. He, in this analogy, is this MCP host. Never actually does any cooking, but he's in charge of the user interface. So he's the primary interface for the user in this situation, Ingrid, who is here to have a great meal. He has many roles, so he also gets to decide who gets to sit on which table and is also is in charge of assigning waiters to the table. This restaurant operates with two main kitchens. There's the main kitchen that is the in-house kitchen for Ha Ha Ha, where all the food gets made. There is also a dessert partner, a bakery that's 3 blocks away called the Dulce Vegan Bakery. And this restaurant has partnered with them. They can orchestrate this dessert option being delivered from the bakery to the restaurant. So these are the MCP servers, if you will. The kitchens are the MCP servers. One is remote, the Dulce Vegan Bakery, and one is local. So let's look at these transport layers. One has this waiter, Maria, who is, in this case, an MCP client. She can go straight to the main kitchen, whereas Carlos orders things on his tablet and gets things from the remote server. So uses streamable HTTP for the remote server, and we use standard input output as a local server for the main kitchen. Pedro has assigned these two waiters to handle Ingrid's table. Maria is in charge of the main kitchen and Carlos is in charge of the external orders using the restaurant's tablet system to order things from Dulce Vegan Bakery. After settling in, Ingrid opens the menu and at the top she notices there's a set of colorful preset meal combos, like there's the Taco Tuesday Fiesta and the Weekend Brunch Special and Quick Lunch Express, etc. Pedro explains to Ingrid that each kitchen has displayed their specialty curated combinations here on this specials menu. Ingrid is obviously new to the place, and these kitchens, meaning the MCP servers, they have an authoritative understanding of everything that they are capable of producing, right? They know what goes good with other things. So they can take these opinionated stances and present a few prompts, if you will, to Ingrid in case she wants to order from that menu. So if she wants to use these prompts, the server trusts that those set of orders from this specially curated list of items will give Ingrid a good experience. So, intrigued, by the way, I want to show you what prompts look like in this situation. It's just pre-configured starting points. They're available from the kitchen, from the MCP server, given straight to the user as something that they can choose to click on and use because they think it's going to get the user a good experience. So intrigued by this idea of brunch, Ingrid selects the weekend brunch special and tells Maria that she'd like medium spice. She wants the drink pairings. She wants a regular portion. And so this enables Ingrid to also slot a few of her own opinions into the prompt, so to speak. Next, we're going to introduce the hero of the story, right? Chef Miguel. Chef Miguel is right here. Chef Miguel is the LLM, the language model, GPT, Claude, right? Chef Miguel has the true reasoning abilities and can process natural language, can take instructions. Chef Miguel has a lot of experience in the industry and knows what goes well with what and can plan out different steps for how to prepare certain meals. So Chef Miguel has reasoning abilities, has the intelligence, whereas all these other people, like the waiters and the restaurant managers and the kitchen staff, they're just following instructions. He is the only one in this whole restaurant besides Ingrid with true reasoning abilities. In there's structured guidance for crafting Ingrid's meal. Miguel isn't just following recipes, okay? He is the brains of this establishment. He makes creative decisions, adapts to what's the freshest thing today in the restaurant in terms of ingredients, can orchestrate the entire kitchen workflow. Everyone else in the system, including the waiters, Maria Carlos, including Pedro, the host, and the servers, so the kitchen staff in the kitchens, they're all just following a protocol. They're following instructions. They're just relaying information. Chef Miguel is the highest paid employee and also is the most recent hire. Okay, so he has a lot of experience in the outside world, but he's still learning at ha. Like all the institutional knowledge, he's still new. He still has to read a lot. He still has to understand a lot of things, inspect a lot of resources, if you will, to understand how ha functions. So he is also reading what the weekend brunch special means and then gets to conduct that prompt into a set of actions or tool uses to instruct the kitchen on how to create the perfect meal for Ingrid. So this is where we introduce tools. The tools will be something like, hey, grill the vegetables, or hey, make that salsa now. These are instructions or tools that are available from the kitchen to Chef Miguel, and Chef Miguel can relay those according to Chef Miguel's own expert chef knowledge as the head chef. And the kitchen will follow instructions and do as the chef says and come back with the results saying, okay, this is done, I've heated the pan, or I've preheated the oven to this temperature, etc. So Chef Miguel starts planning. Weekend brunch special with medium spice, and let me build something really special with what came in fresh this morning. And he mentally reviews what the kitchens had told him previously about the appliances that are available in the kitchen. So Chef Miguel doesn't really sit inside the kitchen. Chef Miguel is like walking around or is standing sort of right outside the kitchens and is sending instructions back to the kitchen to do exactly as he says. So Chef Miguel says, okay, like I know there's cooking operations available, which the kitchen can perform today. They can grill vegetables, prepare fresh salsa, assemble tacos, make guacamole, press the tortillas, etc. He decides on this loaded nachos as the centerpiece of the weekend brunch. So he tells Maria, hey, start with the salsa verde, then use medium heat, extra lime. Maria takes this straight to the prep station and through direct communication, not through a tablet or anything like that, and just gives little notes to the kitchen. 5 minutes later, Maria returns to Ingrid's table and gives like an order update. Hey, the kitchen wanted to let you know that everything is being made fresh to order and your meal should be ready in about 15 minutes. This is like a progress notification, right? So the waiter can come to Ingrid at the table and let them know what's happening in the kitchen, like what's being prepared, where the time is being spent, etc. The main kitchen maintains several menu items and ingredients. So they are also known as the reference materials. They are laminated recipe cards and binders that anyone can review. So, loaded nachos with salsa, there's a recipe card. There's a black bean preparation guide. And then there's like complete allergen and nutritional information in like a big binder. Ingrid has been trying to increase her protein intake. So she asks Maria, could I see the nutritional information for the stuff that you're making? And Maria brings over this nutrition binder as it is. And this, in this analogy, is an MCP resource. There's no tool use required. Like Chef Miguel does not need to go and instruct the kitchen to go bring the binder. Maria, the MCP client itself, can take Ingrid's instruction to see this read-only resource from the kitchen, bring it back, and Ingrid is free to use this as she will. So this is an MCP resource. The funny thing here is that Chef Miguel, the head chef, is also able to consult an identical binder, like the same binder, to check which items are the highest in protein for her meal. This is not a cooking operation, right? This is not a tool use. It's simply accessing information. The Chef Miguel can access a resource just like Ingrid can access a resource. It's just read-only information available on demand. Now, as the main kitchen is beginning to assemble these loaded nachos, the station needs some clarification. The kitchen knows that, hey, when we start to make nachos, we should do like a preference check. So they send Maria, the client, the MCP client, with a question to the user, Ingrid in this case, and says, hey, how would you like your tortilla chips? Let me show you the image for this. How would you like your tortilla chips? Like, would you want them extra crispy, or do you want the default crispiness? Ingrid sees this and she has like clear responses, preset pre-action model. She can say, yes, I want crispy, or no, I want a default, or if she doesn't have an opinion, she can just dismiss the question also, in which case the kitchen can just take a judgment call or whatever the default experience is, right? Important thing to note here about this MCP elicitation request was that Chef Miguel again was not involved here. The kitchen knows, because Chef Miguel is new. Chef Miguel doesn't know that when someone orders nachos, you should ask a question about the crispiness of tortilla chips. The kitchen knows. And so the kitchen sort of bypasses Chef Miguel and just goes and asks this question to Ingrid directly. And this in the real world is often used for like authentication and confirmation, that kind of stuff, for actions that might be important. So it could have also been like, hey, do you have any allergies? So the kitchen knows to ask Ingrid for allergies and doesn't need to go through Chef Miguel, doesn't need to go through the LLM to ask this question. So there's a notification system, there is a progress tracking system, and we understand now elicitation. So the kitchen wanting to confirm something with the user directly without having to go through the LLM. We understand preset menus, so prompts that Ingrid can just order from, which is convenient, and the server has curated, the kitchen has curated. We have resources, which is read-only information that is available both to the chef whenever he needs it, and also to Ingrid whenever she needs it. No problem, available on demand. And we now understand tools. So tools that the chef can instruct the kitchen to use in order to create the final meal. I also want to talk about this other MCP feature that's one of my favorites, and that's sampling. Very appropriately named for our analogy. Midway through the preparation of this weekend brunch special, the prep cook encounters an unexpected challenge with the mole inspired drizzle. Okay. So they need Chef Miguel's expertise and request a head chef consultation, saying, "Hey chef, like how do I balance these flavors?" Chef Miguel, he tastes it, and with his experienced palate can immediately identify the issue and says like, "Oh, like add a touch of apple cider vinegar and a pinch more like cacao into this." That's what his instructions end up being. This consultation shows that the kitchen station can request help from Miguel himself. Think about it, like an MCP server on the back can require LLM access, can need to process something in natural language also. And where is the nearest LLM? It's on the client side. The client has access to the LLM. Like right outside the kitchen doors is standing the head chef who can do this kind of mini request processing, can taste things and provide consultation upon demand. So this MCP feature is called sampling. The kitchen can request consultation from the only other being with reasoning abilities to solve creative problems. Quite often in the real world, this is used for cases like summarization. So the tool has a lot of information to process. You can use MCP sampling, send it to the chef, get something summarized, and have it back and in a structured way that's easier to process, and then continue down the rest of the task. Finally, 10 minutes later, Maria returns and says, "Hey, your loaded nachos are ready and they're being plated now." Pedro, the restaurant manager, keeps everything running smoothly throughout, and he ensures that Maria and Carlos stay in their lanes and they always have the right notes with them, and also maintains kitchen independence so that he only gives the dessert related order instructions to Carlos and only gives the ha 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 main menu related instructions to Maria, so that they just are doing exactly what their job is and there's no sort of intermingling of transport layers, right? Another nice thing about this then is that the main kitchen never learns the secrets of the bakery, the vegan bakery that's providing all the desserts. They can work independently and the servers don't have to interact with each other. The kitchens don't have to learn each other's secrets. That's it. We're all done. We've seen Maria take little notes like this and follow the protocol and take information back and forth following a standard format, which is the JSON RPC messages. We've seen Chef Miguel do all of his expert thinking and reasoning to give instructions very clearly to the kitchens, which is the MCP servers. You've seen MCP servers, which have all these tools available to them that can be used on demand and the results can be sent back. We've seen Pedro do a fantastic job with seating people and curating this entire dining experience. And everything comes together for making one big, amazing meal for Ingrid. She tastes it, she takes the first bite of the perfectly crispy nachos, and she thinks Adi was absolutely right about this place, and Chef Miguel's intelligent decisions have guided every step of this culinary experience.